I'm going to show how to assemble this shelf. Let's get started. I'm going to mark where the shelves are going to go, and I want to make sure these ends are flush, and I'm going to use a square. And I'm going to do it about 1/4 of an inch. It's not me perfect. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And there's 3 boards, so those would be 3 shelves. I'm just gonna again eyeball where I want that middle one to go. I turn that around so that I can put this part of the square on the edge of the board, making sure this end and this end are lined up. Oops. There we go. Move that down just a little bit there. And those are set. So I've actually sanded these down a bit, so they're ready. They're a little bit rough on this edge, so I'm just going to take a piece of, this looks like maybe 330 or maybe 100 grit, one of those. I don't know why they don't say it, but and by doing it this way rather than this way, this surface is flat with the sandpaper on top of the flat surface. I'm going to, for the most part, sand that unless I tip it one way or another. I'm trying to keep that flat down so that edge comes out real nice. So I'll sand the rest of those, and then that one will be ready to glue. On the shelf, first thing I'm going to do is, actually my dad had cut all these parts out. Actually, there's pine boards. First thing I'm going to do is glue on the top shelf and put a little bit of carpenter's wood glue. Use this for years. Very, very good glue for wood. I've got a little bit on the stick, and I'll put this on one of the uprights of the shelf. I'll put a little bit more on there. Cover on before I tip it over and get glue all over. So now what I'm going to do is stand this up, put the shelf, line that up on that line, and wiggling it around spreads out the glue and it makes it a little bit more sticky. So now I'm going to take, this is a part of a square. Well, actually, let me show you. This part goes in here. So I'm taking this apart. I'm going to put this in here and then line it up with the shelf. That way, this will be perfectly perpendicular. I'm going to take a deep socket and set it here. You can use anything that's fairly heavy in weight. I'm going to put one over here to hold that together until that glue dries, and I'll let that dry overnight. This is dried overnight. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, looks good. Next I'm going to put on, actually, I'm going to put on this bottom one. Well, put some glue on here. bit, line it up with that pencil line. Get it square. Put the sockets in place. And I'll let that dry. Let's see how this looks. There we go. Okay, now the middle shelf. And now I'm going to have to put the square this way, which should work. Turn this over. Have a line on that side. That should work. So, get some glue on here. That squared out. Socket there, and pull on right there. And let that dry. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, looks good. So now I glue this on the side. What I want to do is put I'll use the square part of this. I'm going to put that in there, tighten up this thumb nut right there. What I'm going to do that like that, and then I can make this perfectly square. So now I need to put some glue on here. Let's see, where's that lining up at? Well, actually what I want to do is I want to put it on these, because then I know where the glue needs to go. If I put it on here, it isn't necessarily going to line up exactly correctly to where the shelves are. That square. There, put that there, just hold that and let that dry. Now let's see how this looks. Yeah, that'll work. I'll leave a link below of the tools and products that I use. And there's the finished shelf. Fun project. Be sure and like, subscribe, share, leave a comment below. Have a great day.